guys, we're back, and hopefully you'll be able to hear everything now. I am John from Thrustmaster again.
Let us know.
I think it is. So we'll start the introductions again. I'm John from Thrustmaster, digital content manager, master, I guess, too, on the NA side. And Catherine is the worldwide digital content manager. She's all the way in France. Catherine, how are you doing?
I'm great.
Cool.
You can hear me.
I think they can now.
Nice to meet you, everyone. So I'm kind of as the equivalent of John, but here at our headquarters in France, basically.
Perfect. Yeah. And I'm on this side, of course. I do a lot of, I guess, talking about our day-to-day a little bit, right? I do, of course, this streaming with you guys. That's part of my primary role, I would say. Here at Thrustmaster, I also work on creating video content, such as just, with content creators and also trailers and things like that. And also working with all of our ambassadors that we have, all of the content creators that you guys see on the Thrustmaster channels. So what about you, Catherine? What do you mainly handle?
I mainly handle social media and community, actually. So I'm the one handling the social media posts related to the brand, as well as one of the 2% managing the Discord server. So that's mostly what I do.
Awesome.
Day-to-day.
Sweet. Cool. So why don't we quickly talk about what we want to do here today, right? So what you guys have seen already before, of course, are the streams where we're doing Let's Plays. You've seen Thrustmaster Care before in the past. And also, of course, some of the, I don't know if we got there yet. Well, no, we have this here. We have the Q&A session that we're trying to do. And for the Q&A sessions, we want to typically have a main topic that we're going over. But for this one, because we have all this backlog of questions that we haven't necessarily addressed, and I know there's one on your mind that's burning. I know there's that one question. We're going to get to it, I promise, but hold on. But yeah, there are a lot of different questions that we saw coming in. We want to kind of address all of those, like our top 10, so to speak, of questions that we've seen come through on social media, on Discord, pretty much everywhere. And then after we do this top 10 stream, and of course, any questions you have in chat, we'll be able to try and go over those as well. Then we'll have our more themed Q&As. We'll have some big guests coming on and things like that to kind of discuss things with us and go over a lot of cool stuff. So that's the idea here for the Q&A session. And I think anything you want to add to that, Catherine? You think I pretty much summed it up?
No, that's exactly what we want to do. So obviously, I can already see some of the questions in the chat.
Inevitable.
So, yeah, inevitable. So before going and doing all those amazing Q&A session with maybe guests and stuff like that, what we want is to address the most asked questions from the community. So the questions that we receive every day on social media.
Yes.
Are asking now, I'll say, because we want to be able, hey guys, we don't hear you well. My microphone is just over there. Should I put it?
Oh no, I think it should be. I think it's better now. I hear it's louder now, so I hope chat can hear it better.
Because I wasn't too close to the microphone. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Maybe it's okay. No, I think we're good.
Let me know if you can hear me. But yeah, basically that's what I wanted to say is we really want to address your most asked questions.
Yeah.
Because sometimes on social media or on Discord we'll be having these questions and we'll answer it. But since someone else 2 days later will ask it again, then we won't be able to see the previous answer. So here we'll be able to address not everything. That would be presumptuous on my part, but at least the question that I can see every day on our pages.
So starting with question 1, it was we'll get there. Can I use PlayStation licensed product on Xbox is question 1. So we're going to do it again from the top.
So, like I said, the short answer is no, and it's because of licensing. When you want to be officially licensed, because all of our products, they're either PC PlayStation or PC Xbox or just PC. So all of our console-compatible products, they're officially licensed. And to be officially licensed, you need to fit a certain standard and to get certain certifications. Obviously, since they're different, you cannot put those certifications both in a single product. some people, that's something that I receive sometimes. People will say, "Yeah, but I have this adapter that I use to use my PlayStation wheel on my Xbox," and that's not something that we make on our site because those certifications. One of the rules of the certifications is that the product that we want to use on the console shouldn't either damage it or slow down the capacity of the console. And those adapters, most of the time, I won't say that all the time because I don't know how they work, but they add a little bit of latency. And sometimes, because they're not really official products, they could damage the console. So obviously, that's not something that we can endorse on our site. So we cannot really recommend you, oh yeah, use that adapter to use a product or something like that. So that's why we'll always recommend to use an officially licensed product with your console. So PlayStation with PlayStation, Xbox with Xbox.
Perfect. Alrighty. All sounds good. So yeah, guys, unfortunately the questions don't want to cooperate with me for whatever reason that is. They're getting angry at me, guys. They won't show up on screen. Oh, hey, never mind. I take that back. It looks like it is going to show up. So you got a sneak peek of our next one, which is when will you release the T818 for console? This is our most asked question on social media. We hear you guys. We see you guys, and we want to give you at least an answer here to this one right now. Catherine, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah. So that's also the question that people were asking in the chat. So that's perfect. Just to let you know, the T818 is PC only and will stay PC only. So this particular product is a PC base, basically. Now, if you're talking about a direct drive on console, so a direct drive on PlayStation or a direct drive on Xbox, that's something that we're working on. Like really, I cannot lie or something. Our team is actively working on these products. But for now, as maybe some people will remember, the kind of teasing phase that we were trying to do with the T818, and that went terribly for us, I'll say. That's why at this point, we'll wait before giving more information. We want to be able to provide all the information about the product, but also a pre-order date, an availability date, and all the things that to answer the questions that you might have, want to be able to release everything before announcing those products. So obviously, first you have to make them. I don't know at that point, I don't have any other information, but I know that it's coming. It's real.
Yes.
It's just that when we have all the information, when we'll be able to give everything, that's when we'll communicate on social media, on the website about it.
So to sum it up, guys, it's happening. It's going to happen eventually. It won't be called T818, of course, but it will be direct drive for console. But we're not saying anything yet because we don't have anything to say. We don't want to have any of those situations that occurred, right, with the T818 release where we were teasing and teasing and teasing and teasing and teasing, and then you guys didn't really get what you wanted for a while, and we know that wasn't necessarily something you guys appreciated. So this time, we want to be ready, and when we come out, we want to be like, here you go, you got it, it's right here. So it's being worked on. Yes. That's all we can say right now, all right?
That's all we know, actually, because they like to keep us in the dark so we don't spill information and stuff like that.
Yes, there you go. We already got some thank yous in the chat. You're very welcome. I'm happy we could provide some information to you guys. So,
but we think of it and to send it to your friends and stuff like that. I'll be really happy.
Cool. So let's go on to the third question here, which we get a lot, more of a tech question. And that is, how do you update a product, Catherine?
Yes.
either it is because a new game is launching, or maybe you have a small issue with your product. The troubleshooting 101, the first thing that you should do, even if you don't have any issue with your product, is to update regularly your product, either your wheel, your joystick, your controller. It's always best to update it. And how to do so? It's actually pretty easy. You just need a PC computer. And maybe John, you can show us how to do so. And you have to go on our support website. So that's support.thrustmaster.com, if I'm not mistaken.
There you go.
Yes, so that's this website. So that's basically the Bible to find everything related to your products, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can just tap the name of your product. You can, for example,
let's do T248, sure.
Yeah, that's our part.
All right.
Just select it.
We want, let's say we want the Xbox One PC.
Version.
Sure.
Yeah. Perfect. And on this website, you'll be able to find the drivers and the firmware update for your product. Obviously, the drivers are more for the PC, but the firmware update is there to update your wheel, and then you'll be able to use it on Xbox or PlayStation, depending of what you want. So you cannot truly update it from your console. It's not possible, but just plug it to a PC, follow the procedure. That's really easy.
Yep.
Just download the firmware, launch it, and most of the time, that's just what you need to update your product.
There you go, guys.
Like I said, when you have like any new games coming, big games, I say the best is to check if they have an update, because sometimes it's needed to get the best of the new games coming.
And why don't we just go from, because we're right on the support website right now, but let's go from Thrustmaster.com to show everyone what the journey is to get there, right? So we have here, you go, I'm going to take a step back. I didn't explain it. So you go to Thrustmaster.com, you have your region chosen for you, which, I mean, you can exit out of that. And then you go to the little hamburger menu here and you select support under more. And that gets you right to that site that I was just at. And then you can search up any product. Again, let's do T818. And then we have T818 and we can see all the different products that we have here. Okay. So that answers that question. But now we have a follow-up one, question 4. Which is, how can I know if my game is compatible with a product? So,
well, we're still on the support
Yes,
website,
we are.
So that will be, if you think about game compatibility, you have either PC or console. I say on PC, most games are compatible, of course, because you just have to set it up. If the game is not plug and play, you just have to set up in the settings your product and then it will work. For console, it's a little bit different, obviously. So to check if your product is compatible with the latest game launched on a platform, or maybe an older game that you want to play, you just have to check the name of your product again. Go to the page on the support website and you will find the list of compatible games that we update pretty regularly.
All right. So let's say we're the first person jumping on the support website. Where do we go from that page that we were at before in order to find out the list of compatibility?
If you go to, you can either tap the name of your product, or you can go to, I cannot really see on your screen, but there's a list of all the products available that you can check in them on the menu at the top of the page.
So why don't
maybe check the T248. That would be nice, because we want a console compatible product.
Okay, so we got T248.
Yeah, so you can just select your product.
Yep.
That would be easier that way.
And we selected it.
Yep.
And now we have different articles. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. And if you go under game settings,
okay,
you should find the compatibility.
Here we are. List of games compatible with the T248. There you go, guys. This kind of touches on, well, I guess we can talk about it now, right? Telemetry, right? What you can see with the T248, Catherine.
Yeah, so if you look at the page, and because the T248 as well as other web products have telemetry compatibility, what you can check is what type of telemetry you'll get with this product. So because different type of games don't show the same information.
Yes.
So you'll be able to check what you have. For example, here with the T248, which game, sorry.
Exactly. So like you can see here, you can have shifter, rev, speed, RPM, drive, lap, and a bunch of other settings available in Assetto Corsa, and American Truck Simulator. You have shifter, rev, speed, and RPM. So you can see a lot of different, and then there's all these other ones. I won't go through them all, guys, but you can see essentially what you're able to get as an option on the telemetry of your T248. And this changes by product for for SF1000, for example. You can also check that and see what's compatible and anything that has telemetry, basically, right?
Exactly.
Cool. All right, so why don't we go on to question number 5? I believe we're on. Yeah.
Question number 5.
Let's go. Question 5, where can I find settings for a specific game? So I think we're still in the same area, huh?
Yeah. So when we're talking about telemetry, that's exactly what we say. So the support website is really a Bible, like I said, to find all the information related to game settings and compatibility.
Yeah.
So like John said, if you're looking what type of information you want to have on Assetto Corsa Competizione, you can find it here for this particular product. But if we're talking about force feedback settings, for example, for the T818,
okay,
because we're able to customize that. If you go to the T818 page, for example, you will be able to find our settings recommendations for the most played racing games, I'll say.
Sure.
Everything is listed here, and you can see that we also have mappings for your wheels as well. So how do you want to set up your wheels with your T818? You can see the little images at the top of the page here. So that's the information that you'll be able to find on the support web page.
Yeah, so you can see the mapping.
The TM open wheel here. Yeah, exactly. We have, obviously we won't talk about our wheels because that would be complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you look for other wheels and stuff like that, if you look directly for wheels, so for example, if you go to SF1000, you could find the mappings for different type of games for the SF1000 also on the support website. I know that we often communicate about new mappings that we have on social media, but you can find them all on the support website if that's something you're interested in. There is also another place where you can find good settings also, and that would be our Discord server. It's the place where we have the community basically exchanging around the latest games. And for the T818 community, I say that's also a best part to be able to talk about what settings you use with each game, because obviously those are our recommendations, but you're free to set up your base how you want to do so. And I know that we also have our ambassadors that are maybe more into rally, for example, who will be able to share on our Discord server what settings they're using with their T818. So that's really cool as well, to be able to get the recommendations from either an esports player or another person who's really into the type of games you are playing.
Yeah, Discord's definitely a great place, just to, not only that, just to meet people as well and talk to people who have the similar interests you do, whether it be flight, racing, or even ESWAP, gaming controllers. That's a great place to meet people. And like you mentioned, talking about the settings and seeing what works best in what game that you have. And I think that's the nice thing, right? You can configure everything however you like. It doesn't have to be a specific...
We're really talking about racing here, but don't forget about flight simmers as well.
Yes.
I know that I'm not big into flight sim, but if there's something that I know about flight simmers is that they love setting up their products.
Oh, yes.
And so if you're into flight sim, it's also a place that you can share your target settings or how you set up your product depending on the type of games you're playing. A lot of time I see that for space sims games and also for DCS. I see a lot of people exchanging around that. So obviously, do not hesitate to join our Discord if you want to ask questions or get info from the community or even give your advices, because we also have people that are newbies in either racing or flight sim, and I think they can learn from all the informations that of you are having in your experience and such. I'm sorry if my English is not perfect. Sorry.
Oh, it's
I'm losing my words.
No, it's perfect, Catherine.
Me, okay?
No worries. Everything's coming through clearly on our side. Don't worry about it. Cool. That's a perfect answer. I think we spent enough time on that question. So why don't we go on to question number 6, guys, which is, of course, is it going to pop up? There we go. Is this product available in my country? So this is a question we get a lot, guys, essentially wanting to know if you can purchase something, where you currently are. And Catherine, why don't you go ahead and answer this? And we're also going to show some stuff to you on our screen.
Yeah, so that's a question that we receive most of the time when we are launching a new product, I'll say, but also because obviously our eShop doesn't at the moment deliver to all countries in the world. So on our website, we have a cool page called Where to Buy. That is really cool. And that is over here. And if you click on it, you'll be able to see all of our official resellers all around the world. So obviously not all countries are listed because we're not in all countries, unfortunately, but we are in most countries. And if your country is not listed, maybe the resellers is able to, from a neighboring country, is able to deliver to your country. So that's something that you can check over there. You can also, if you go on a product page, for example, you also have a where to buy products. So that will bring you to a specific resellers or the resellers that are available in your region. So you can check that here. Maybe at some point you'll notice browsing on the internet that some resellers exist and are selling our products that are not in your list. It's just that sometimes they just go through those sellers and then we don't know about them because they go through one of our wholesalers. So not to worry, users selling official Thrustmaster products, that should be okay. But yeah, that's where you can basically find all the information about resellers. And we try to, as soon as we have new resellers, as soon as a new product is launched, we try to keep this page updated with all the new information.
Yeah. And of course, we have our own eShop that you can go to, guys, if you want to. And you can shop there. When you end up there, the language you select here is, or I should say the flag, right? The flag you select is where you're purchasing from. So US.
And spoiler alerts. In the upcoming weeks, we have new countries that will be available. On our eShop. So I cannot say a lot of things at the moment, but a lot of new countries will be coming soon, and we will also continue to explore the possibility to ship in a lot of different countries. So yeah, we try to do that as well.
Perfect. Alrighty, so with that said, let's move on now to question number 7, I believe we're on.
Yes.
Question 7, as you're going to see here, is where can I find spare parts? Well, I think we're kind of teasing that already. Already in the right place.
Yeah, already in the right place. So there's 2 places actually where you can find spare parts.
Yeah.
So the quickest way, if the country that you're in is featured on our eShop website, is to go on the eShop, and you can find a category called spare parts where you can find I'd say the most common spare parts that you might need. That could be like the small pedal sets for the entry-level wheels. That could be the module for the ESWAP. That's the kind of spare parts that are available there. And the second place is if, unfortunately, you're not in a country that is supported by our eShop, then you just have to contact our great support team by email or by phone, explain what parts you need or what is your issue, and they'll be able to provide or to sell you a spare parts depending on your warranty or what is going on. So you have two options, I say.
Yep, so that's good. I mean, obviously, if you go to the eShop, like you were saying, you can just click add to cart. You can buy anything.
It's just easiest to just do it without talking to anyone.
Exactly. But
I say, yeah.
But yeah, and the point is it's not limited to this, guys. You can go and talk to our support. You can message them for specific parts that you need. We want to help you repair your product. We don't want to, and of course, if you need an entirely new product, we'll discuss that with you and our support team. But hopefully we can provide you with the parts that you need, and then you can get your product fixed as needed. So for me, that's really cool. And I think that that pretty much sums up that question. Do you have anything else you want to add, Catherine?
No, I say do not hesitate. Also, if you're not sure what part you need or stuff like that, you can also ask questions on social media or directly to the support team. They'll be able, depending on what you think you need. Sometimes you think you need something, but could be something else depending on the issue. So our support team is really great to be able to identify what issue you could have, or maybe that's something that you could say. Sometimes a question that I receive is, do you sell screws, for my pedal set or something like that?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's even easier to check what type of screw. We can help you find that, and you just have to go to your local grocery store to buy it. So do not hesitate if you have any questions related to spare parts to ask us or to check. You can also check our Thrustmaster care if it's something talking about this product, and we are able to help and tell you what you need and where to find it.
Yeah, I know you said grocery store, Catherine. I think you might have meant just a retail store or
Yeah. I don't know how you call like Home Depot and stuff like that.
Yeah, like a hardware store. Yeah, hardware store. Yeah.
Sorry.
So if you go to a grocery store, I mean, you might, but usually you're going to find food at a grocery store here. I don't know. Maybe things are different in France. I don't know. Maybe you can find that.
You can depend on. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry.
I'm just joking around. I'm just poking fun at you, Catherine. Don't worry. Why don't we take a quick break from our questions and have a look at chat? There's some interesting questions that I see coming in. One thing, Speedbird says, amazing tech support, very fast when you need some spare parts. That's very great to hear. Thank you so much for the kind words, Speedbird1123. And then, are the plastic bushings on the TLCM available? So that's a good question. Do you have the answer to that, Catherine? Or maybe they should just go to support and see?
What is bushings? I'm sorry.
I'm honestly not sure either, but they know what it is, and maybe it's better. With all of that said, guys, you can check with our support team.
What I know that is available for the TLCM is, the plastic parts that you use to press. So I know that it's available.
Yep.
The bushing on the axis. I'm really sorry, Vitor Arbex. I'm not fluent in English, so I don't know what the bushing means, but.
Inside the pedals, yeah.
I'll say so if it's inside the pedals, okay. So then it will be, I think, the support website.
Yes.
Because what is easily, something that you can take off and add back really easily, that would be available on the eShop as a spare parts. If you really need like to unscrew something, I'll say, then that will be something that you will check with the support team, because they want obviously to give you some advice on how to do so, maybe some explain to you a little bit better how to unscrew, how to put it back and stuff like that. So yeah, I recommend, if it's a little bit more technical, at least if it's not just taking it off, putting it back, then that would be something to check with the support team.
Yeah, and I'm just going to the link here. You go to TLCM, you contact us by chat, by phone, whatever you prefer, in the contact form, and then you can find out about that. All right? There you go. Hey, we answered that question. Perfect. Alrighty. So back to it. Let's see. Do we have anything else that we've been asked here? Oh, do we have an answer for this? I'm not sure. We can try. Catherine, will you sell the T818 base alone in resellers or Amazon? I don't know if we have an answer to that question.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Because, actually, you could check. So you can actually buy the T818 base alone at some resellers.
Yes.
I know that it's, for example, available in Australia through Panyan. But it really depends because in Europe at the moment it's only available on eShop. I think in the US it's the same thing. But we're trying to open it more and more to resellers. So it's definitely something that we are developing. It's just that at the moment it's not available everywhere. With Canada third party, I don't know for Canada at the moment. I will check, maybe ask me on social media tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have the answer at the moment, but I know that it's something that the team is working on actively.
Oh my goodness, we have a lot of questions coming. You know what? Let's keep asking your questions, guys. We're going to get back to them, but we want to go to our set of questions first, and then we'll return to your questions in a little bit. Okay, keep them coming. We'll keep track of them. Don't worry. All right, so let's go to question number 8. Question 8 is an interesting one. Will the MyThrustmaster app be compatible with consoles? And for you guys wondering what the MyThrustmaster app is, if you haven't heard of it, well, I mean, actually, there's 2 ways to access this. You could either go to the link directly at thrustmaster.com/my-thrustmaster, or scroll down into the footer of our site, and you see right here, MyThrustmaster app. You click on that, and you're golden. So, to answer the question, though, Catherine, will it be compatible with consoles?
So, unfortunately, no. That's MyThrustmaster. So it's an app that you use on your phone to configure your PC products, and that will stay PC only. So why is that? Of course, I have an explanation for you. It's just because so the app purpose is to set up the force feedback of your base, but also to create profiles, especially for the T818, which is a PC base. But also because, as you may know, on consoles, the force feedback depends of the game you're playing. Most of the time, they have a limit in force feedback, and the settings are directly in the games. You will set up your wheel and the force feedback of your wheel directly in the game. So you don't have this extra settings that you can set up on a PC, because on PC you have a control panel that the app is interacting with. It's not something that exists on console, so that's not something that we can do in the app. So that's why the app is made for PC only and will stay PC only.
Yeah. So essentially PC is better. No, I'm just kidding. I love PC personally, but yeah, it's just you have the ability, of course, to customize everything on PC, your forces, all of the racing settings that you have. You can set up profiles, and you can see your inputs in real time on the app, which is all really cool, as you can guys see here on screen. And that's not necessarily available on the consoles, which is why this is remaining PC exclusive, because the consoles, it's more controlled, right, as to what you'll be feeling, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Alrighty. So that answers that. And why don't we jump back to chat for a minute here? And we got the
we answered that question.
Yes.
Thank you for people are just explaining the answer. That's great.
Yeah.
So again, T818 on console. T818 is PC only, but we're working on TD for console. Why Euro Truck Simulator to American Truck Simulator only shows the first digit? That's a really technical question.
Wow. Yeah.
So unfortunately, I won't be able to answer that. I'll say if you think it's like a game issue, the best is to contact the game developers. But if you think it's a problem with your wheel or something that's not that delivered correctly, I don't know. That's contact our support team.
Yes.
They'll be able to check that with you. And again, if it's not done already, update your wheel. Sometimes it could be just a compatibility issue with an update or something like that.
Yeah, why don't we check right now and see for Euro Truck Simulator or Euro Truck Simulator 2 what we have,
I
right?
have no idea. I'm sorry.
Let's check on the support site just to help them out. So
With the T248
X,
Xbox.
so Xbox, all right. And then we have our game compatibility that we already talked about. Euro Truck Simulator 2, shifter, yeah, rev, speed. You should be able to see it. Yeah, it looks like you should be able to see what gear you're in. So perhaps it's an issue with your T248X, or maybe there's a setting that you need to enable in the game, but support will definitely be able to help you.
Yeah,
So
they will be able to check your
Right here.
settings and what's going on really.
exactly. So just click right on contact us for this product, and then we'll be able to help you out. Member 0000. That's an interesting name. Okay. Here's an interesting question, Catherine. Maybe you can answer it. Why would you rather use the app over the control panel?
I'd say the app is better if you are not really on your PC all the time. Like that, I say we have a lot of people playing on cockpits. And when you want to set up everything, sometimes it's easier just to take out your phone and to just change your settings, especially if you already saved some profiles, If you saved some profiles for your game and just you're starting with, I don't know, you're starting on Assetto Corsa Competizione, then you're like, yeah, I'll do some iRacing next. Then you just have on your phone to click on the settings that you have, and you don't have to go back to your PC, change everything, and then go back on your cockpit. You don't have to move, basically. So that's a little bit easier for some people. This ability to save multiple profiles, I'll say, is the main reason for the MyThrustmaster app.
Definitely. And just the ability not to have to maybe leave your game. You can switch profiles and things like that and try different things with, it's just way more convenient, I would say. Especially like you said, when you're in a cockpit. Totally. Cool. Pretty much leave my settings alone, change force back in game. Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, we have the options for you guys. It's available if you want to play around with it, have different profiles for different games. But if you like everything on default, that's perfectly fine. And you can go ahead and continue going in that direction. So let's see. I agree. For American Truck, I use 18-speed gearbox, just the wheel only show. Okay. Well, that could be a limitation of the fact that you're going above 9 gears because, as Gorilla Dust was saying, it's designed for racing, so it doesn't go into gear 10. That could be why you're encountering that, and that's just a design. That's just the product wasn't necessarily. I think it was focused purely on cars, right?
Regarding the
T248, right? Yeah, for using in truck, because trucks have a lot more gears, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that could be. I don't know how really it works for American Truck Simulator specifically, but yeah, if you're going to gear 18, yeah, maybe that's why it's not following.
Yeah.
But the best would be to compare with people from the community, or either to contact the support to be able to check that with you.
Yeah, and
definitely.
It is something we can always look into, right? So contact support, let them know, and maybe there's something we can do to help you. I'm sure that in the future, we'll always be looking into stuff like that. So it's good to know.
And that's what's really funny is it's really the type of questions that are really specific to a type of community, right?
Sometimes
you're like, okay, so every time we're launching a new product, we're expecting what type of question we'll receive, right? And sometimes we're always surprised, I say always, because you have a specific community that are playing a specific games with your product and asking, yeah, but if I use it in this particular situation in my favorite game, which is, for example, a bus driving simulator, what should happen? And you're like, oh yeah, I haven't followed that. Okay, we'll investigate what could happen. No, I'm not calling people nerds, actually. Thank you, Gorilla. But yeah, no, it's just that every time I'm amazed by how people could be using the products. Especially like we just launched the SimTask farm stick and SimTask steering kit, right? And most people beforehand were using, if they wanted to use a joystick in Farm Simulator, they were playing it with our flight sim product.
Yes.
And now we're having a specific joystick just for the farmers over there, well, the heavy equipment guys. And the first comments that I saw was someone saying, "Hey, it's nice. I want to use it in a plane." You know, I was like, okay, so now people are like, okay.
Yeah, it's the other way around.
Mixing the other way around. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But we're always surprised by how people will use our products in their specific way, and that's why sometimes we don't have the answer, and we just need to investigate how people will use it and how we can help, basically.
Yep, and I was just pointing back because that's the joystick of choice right back there, right here on our display shelf that people used to use for farming, and the new farm stick, of course, has replaced it completely. And just the amount of buttons, you know, the usability of it, specifically being designed for farming, is great. But like you said, Catherine, I saw it myself too. You know, one of our ambassadors, Blue Games, he put it as review, and he said this is also, he does farming, but he also said this is fantastic for flight, right? So I mean, it's going to be something that people will look into.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll be able maybe to provide mappings or stuff like that, and how people are using it in flight sim as well. You never know.
We love it. We love it, guys. Keep on using these products for whatever you feel it's best for, and then the way you adapt gives us ideas on how to move forward in the future too. So we love to get your feedback and hear all these things. Cool. Why don't we've been on this question for a while. Why don't we go on to our question number 9 of our top 10? And question 9 has to do with our ESWAP controllers. And that is, can you use ESWAP X color packs with the ESWAP S Pro Controller?
And it's good to see an ESWAP related question.
Yes.
Because most of the time we're talking about racing, flight sim, but we also have our esports controllers.
Yeah.
So regarding the ESWAP X, which is the most customizable controllers that we have the color packs. So we have LED packs and color packs to be able to customize the controller. And obviously, the ESWAP S, its little brother, I'll say.
Yes.
On those ones, you can only swap the mini sticks. So buying a whole pack when you can just add a mini stick and you cannot change the triggers, you cannot change the wings. So it would be compatible technically. So the mini stick would be compatible technically, but to save you a lot of money, the best would be to buy the mini stick by itself, I'll say. If you want to customize your ESWAP S, the best is just to check what color or what mini stick, depending on what you play, you want to use, and just to buy it individually and just to plug it in, and that's it. The whole pack, you wouldn't be able to use all of the customization options.
Yeah, and I think another nice thing about it is if you buy the individual modules, let's say you don't want 2 blue LEDs, you want 1 blue and 1 orange. So you can actually customize that yourself by going to the module section here and just add an orange to your cart, add a blue to your cart, and even if you want to swap it out for the white sometimes as well, you can do that. And then you have all 3 available to you that you can purchase and use with your ESWAP controller. So yeah, I think that in general, when you're talking about ESWAP, it's definitely better just to go straight to the modules and buy those, because they'll work the same as they would on the ESWAP X. But if you have an ESWAP X, the color packs are also a really strong choice, because then you can customize the full controller, right?
Exactly.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, why don't we jump back to chat, Catherine, but I don't know if we have the answer to that question. That's a really in-depth question.
Let me check.
Yeah.
So would you know how the TM warranty works for Brazil official retailers products? I'm looking to buy a TSPC, and that's a big investment indeed.
Yeah.
Not sure what the 12 months warranty covers. What if one button on the wheel goes dead, for example? The good questions.
Very good question.
I'm not really familiar with how the warranty works in Brazil. Most of the time, our products have a 1-year warranty. So Depending of the country, obviously the best would be to contact our tech support, because on their site they have all the information regarding all the countries that are supported. But depending of the country, you can also check with the resellers, because they also have warranties for their products. So to have more information about the warranty, depending of your countries, but also of the resellers, the best is you can already check with our tech support website, team, I'll say. The website, I don't think they have the information, but the team, they'll be able to tell you, okay, for Brazil, here is what we can offer for support, and here are our resellers, here are who we're working with, and that would be easier. I was going to do, so the support team will be able to give you the information regarding the warranty.
And if you weren't here before...
The resellers as well.
Yeah, and if you weren't here before, it's support.thrustmaster.com, or go to our main site, click on support, and then you can enter the product you have a question on, which in this case was the...
And another advice would be, when you buy a product to a resellers, to check that the product is indeed a new one, I'll say, because sometimes people could say, oh, this one is really cheap. It's because they have an amazing offer, and you don't realize that you buy a second-hand product. And this type of product have other type of warranty, I say, depending of your country, depending of your resellers. So if you really want like the whole package of warranty, the best is also to check, am I buying a new product or am I buying it second-hand?
Yes, for sure. And it's better if you're buying a new product, right, in terms of warranty, because you know where you're getting it from. And used products, it's not always clear, but that's just, of course, a choice up to you. And onto the support website, you can click on live chat here, as I was showing you guys, or you can click contact us, and there'll be different ways for you to contact us listed there. So like you said before.
You can check, for example, if the phone lines is open for your countries, at what time. And I mostly recommend the emails, because you're sure that when the emails is sent, someone will answer, because you receive a confirmation email and stuff like that. And sometimes, you don't know if you don't speak the language of the phone lines and stuff like that. It could be more convenient most of the time with email, but you also have a phone option in chat as well.
Perfect. All right. I hope we were able to answer your question, Vitor Arbex. Thank you so much for asking it. Oh, you're welcome. No problem. All righty. Let's see. Anything else that we missed in chat? I think we covered all the questions that came through.
Yes, I think so.
So why don't we go on to our question number 10? And that is the last question for today, at least from our list of questions. And is there anywhere I can go to try an ESWAP controller, which is a really good question. I saw it a lot recently. What do you say, Catherine? What do you think?
I'd say the best way to test an ESWAP controller, or even any of our products, would be to check which events we are attending. We obviously, you are in North America, I am here in Europe, but we are attending a lot of events all around the world.
Yes.
Every year. One example that is pretty recent would be the TwitchCon in Paris.
Yes. I was there, yes.
And so that's the type of places where we bring a lot of product, and you can be sure that we'll bring all the set. So that would be either we have flight sim products, racing products, and also controllers. So ESWAP will be there as well. We also do events with partners, so you can also find us if a cockpit maker is somewhere. Most of the time, we'll be there. Maybe one of our competitors, but we'll be there as well. Basically, or a game maker that we work with, like Farming Simulator is a good example of people that we work with regularly, and sometimes we are on the same events. So we like to advertise the events where we at on social media, so do not hesitate to follow us and to check when and where we'll be, because we're definitely all around the world in a lot of different type of countries.
Yeah, and I mean, go ahead, Catherine, sorry.
No, no. I know that sometimes even shops and stuff like that have a little displays depending. But yeah, that's also information that sometimes we can have and maybe we can share. So do not hesitate to either check on social media and to ask.
Yeah, absolutely. Send us a DM and we'll try to answer your question as best as possible as to if we have any stores or are there any retailers that are trying out the product that are demonstrating the product for you to try. Also, we were talking about the flight side. We go to Flight Sim Expo. We've gone for the past few years, in fact, and either as an actual exhibitor or with a partner or both. And our products are available there to try out for flight, which are really cool once you can get into them and sit down in a cockpit or just try out flying a plane or a combat plane. It's really awesome. So if you have an event like that, like Flight Sim Expo happening near you, I highly encourage you to go there to try out the products if you haven't had the chance to already. Cool. That pretty much wraps up our top 10 questions. And we leave it to you guys for a couple of minutes. If you have anything else you want to ask us in chat, a burning question on your mind, please go ahead and do so. Is there anything else maybe you want to mention on the stuff we talked about today or something we didn't talk about, Catherine, that you think would be interesting for everyone to know?
I'm not really sure. Well, like we said, those are the most asked question, and we try to be able to make it a little bit general, because I think you realize because everyone has really specific questions depending of what they're playing with. I'll say, but I say to not hesitate. That we're here. Obviously, I'm from the community team, so I'm on social media, on Discord. You are as well, John, but we have people dedicated to reply to your questions. So here we wanted to be able to talk about the most general questions that we receive. Obviously, the questions that are a little bit more trendy, I'll say, regarding the DD, right?
Yes.
And we have new questions that you will have once the DD will be there. I'm sure about it. But yeah, do not hesitate if it's something really specific or related to something to ask. We're always here to reply. And if we cannot find the answer, we'll go ask the people that maybe could have the answer from the team. And yeah, we try to help as much as possible. And there are no silly questions. Even though sometimes people think, oh yeah, but that should be easy, do not hesitate to ask, because maybe we have other settings, other, I don't know, other ideas that we can give you to be able to use your product. And also sometimes I'm checking the questions coming live.
Yeah, there's some coming in.
And sometimes, even though the answer is no, I say, for example, people asking, will you launch this type of product, or will you do this? Or even if we don't have like a proper answer, or maybe it's not coming soon, it's always good to have this feedback from the community, right? To be able to tell our teams, okay, so people are requesting this type of products. People are interested in those type of things, and it could look like it's not really important, but if a lot of people are requesting something, I think at some point people will listen, and even our team is like really interested in having feedback on what people think about our products or what type of products they would like to see next. So it's always nice to receive those type of questions, I say.
Yeah. And speaking of those questions, we have, is something new coming for Flight Simulator? I think for Flight Sim in general is what they're asking, not necessarily a specific Flight Simulator.
Not the game.
Yeah, exactly. Because we don't, that's Microsoft, guys. You want to go check with them for Flight Simulator, but we do make the Flight Sim products. And I mean, can we say, I don't think there's anything we can honestly say here, Catherine, but
I want to say, like, we're actually the leaders in flight simulation hardware. So the easiest answer would be, of course, there's something that will be coming, because we're working on stuff. We're still working on stuff all the time, and either with partners, either with the community feedback and stuff like that. Now, if what you want is a timeline, I will tell you the same thing that I said with the T818. when we communicate about something is that we're sure that it's coming, that we have all the information, all the dates, all the availability checked up. So as soon as we have that for the upcoming products, that's something that we'll communicate, of course.
Yep. And I think that answers Gorilla Dust's question as well. When can you launch a flight sim tiller? I think that's the exact same answer. So there you go. Two for one.
We learned that it's better now, instead of doing stupid teasings, to just wait and to have all the information so that we can say, okay, that's it. Here it is. You know everything. Now we are on the same level of information. And we can answer your questions.
We might tease a little bit, guys, just a bit, but not for as long as we did.
Yes. It's really, we want to tease you, but just so you're a little bit curious. So we don't want to frustrate any more people, I say.
Exactly. That's the last thing, of course, we want to do. But it's still fun to get a little bit teased, have a little bit of hype built up, of course, which we'll still do. Don't worry. Okay, cool. I think that pretty much wraps up the questions, and that should be it for this one, Catherine. So, I mean, really, thank you so much for joining me here and answering all these questions. I think it hopefully provided people with a lot of information that'll help them out in the future. And also next week, we will be back in. Well, I'll be back doing a COD stream with one of our ambassadors. So that should be a lot of fun, guys. I'm looking forward to playing Call of Duty, and that'll be on the ESWAP line of controllers. So that's it, guys. Thank you again for coming out. Thank you, Catherine, for joining me here, and we'll be back next week. Have yourselves a great evening, night, day, whatever time may be there. Bye-bye.
Bye.